A lot of people know you from RDB, world-renowned. You guys have done some serious damage to the music scene over the last decade.
Yes.
Of course, you and your brothers are really well known. I know that your older brother passed away. I know that was a really hard time for you and your family, for the band, for the world that had, you know, truly been major fans of RDB, me definitely being one of them. A lot of people, when something like that happens, make a decision that they just don't want to do this anymore.
Absolutely.
They say, you know, I'm done with this chapter of my life, I'm going to do something different, because everything that, you know, I identified with music had to do with us as a family.
As a family, yeah. That's
right?
Yeah.
But you now are here as Manj Music.
Yes.
You made a very important decision for your career.
Very hard decision, yeah.
So talk to me about how that came about for you.
Okay, well, I mean, obviously, not going into too much detail about Kuly, but he passed away and it was cancer and so on.
Yes.
It was, it was an extremely hard time for the whole family, obviously. You know, it's devastating, to be honest.
Of course.
I can firmly speak for myself to say that, okay, it was probably the hardest for me, because it was me and Kuly Paji who used to do all the work, like as in music production. So we was like joined by the hip. We was everywhere we went, we thought the same, we had the same vision, everything was the same. Kuly was the ultimate visionary. So he always thought of these new ideas, but then he just never could do one thing all the way through, because he had new ideas pop up all the time. So what he would do is he'd come up with an idea and he'd do it like 10%, and then he'd say, okay, man, take care of this, and then move on to another idea.
Yeah.
And then I'm still taking care of the first idea whilst he's throwing me another idea. So me and him kind of bounced off each other, always working together, working on different stuff.
Yes.
And when he passed, for me it was like, you know, I've lost half of my body.
Yes.
So
half of your body and half of your soul.
Yeah, completely. So when he found out that he had cancer and he phoned us, obviously I was devastated. I was in tears. I didn't know what to do. Like my brain just went blank. I had no idea what we're doing.
Well, your whole world just changed.
Everything completely
in that
completely.
moment. Yeah.
The only thing I could think of was that I need to be there with him to make him better. Whatever it takes, I just need to get him better. I wasn't, to be honest, I wasn't even thinking about mom, dad. I didn't think about anything. I just thought, you know, I just want him to be better. And Nindy said to me, and I remember this very clearly, we were sitting in the studio and he just called, put the phone down, and Nindy goes, and she held me and she just goes, listen, let's sell everything and let's move back to England. I know you moved here and I've been here for like 8 years, 9 years, but let's go back to England, because these are the times is when I'll need to be there for your family and you need to be there for your brother.
She's brilliant.
So for her to just say, okay, I'm willing to just let go of everything that I've worked for and to help you build here, and let's just go back to England, was amazing for me. In fact, I just said no. I said, no, it's not going to happen.
Because you didn't want, because you're thinking about her too, right?
Yeah. So I can't do that to you.
Yes.
No, I'll go to England and I'll be there with Kuly and whatever it takes. But we can't, you know, son's going into school, you know, we can't change our lives now. I can't do that. And she's like, no matter what, we're going to do it. So we did. We ended up selling everything. We took Anoop out of school.
Yes.
We moved back to England. I even bought a place right next to Kuly, just down the street, just so I could travel down there and just see if he's all right and blah, blah, blah.
Of course.
And, you know, Kuly Paji was like, he was the happiest person ever, because he just felt, okay, now I know I've just found out this horrible news, but my brother's come and his wife's come and they've come to help me.
Yeah.
So it was, and then the journey kind of started where I was trying to help him and really be there for him. So Nindy said, you know, I'll be there for your family. I'll make sure. She used to go over to mom and dad's house, make roti and help him there and make sure dad's getting his food and taking it to work. Mom goes through. We put Anoop into a school which was opposite. So it was hard for Anoop. Like, you know, he's gone from a Canadian school, now he's going to England. Now he's, from dollars, he's learning pounds.
Yeah.
So for him,
not just that, it was even worse than that, Manj, because, you know, we grew up in England, right?
Yeah.
So much racial tension, so much prejudice. There wasn't a day that went by for me, and I know it would be the same for you, when someone wouldn't say something about my culture to my face 100%. Or treat me badly, 100%. Right? Now, Canadian South Asians don't have that, right? So, you know, that's another fear, right? As a parent, that here he is, you know, he's in a multicultural environment where everyone accepts who he is. All of a sudden, you're putting him smack dab in the middle of London, which couldn't be the worst place,
absolutely,
to be transposed to.
And it did take effect. I mean, he went to school. and he did start getting bullied in school, and stupid things started happening, and Nindy had to kind of deal with that situation.
Yeah.
It was hard for her to deal with that, to first of all to work out, okay, from Canadian now we're back to British again, and now he's going through this in school. So it was hard for her whilst I was travelling around with Kuly trying to get him some treatment. And whilst all this was going on, and I'm travelling around with Baja and trying to get him this treatment, Nindy was handling the baggage
family,
really
yeah.
on that side, because she had to make sure that mom was happy, dad was happy, everyone feels comfortable that he's getting good treatment, and
Yeah.
And then a noop in his schooling and so on. So it was very, very. It was a balance that we found it really hard to do.
Of course.
But we had to do it.
But you did it.
Yeah, we had to do it, and we did it. We did do it. Unfortunately, Baj got more and more sick, and then it basically came to an end where we couldn't really do anything about it.
Of course.
So once the cancer obviously took over, and unfortunately Baji passed away, at that point I had a decision then. Yes. I had to make a decision to say, okay, do I stay in England? Mm-hmm. To stay here with mom and dad and to support them, and now there's Serge doesn't produce music, Serge doesn't sing and write music or anything. He did the business side, and he was good at the management side and the business side, and that's what he did.
Absolutely.
So do I stay here and do this now, or do I take my family and I go back to Canada and I start my life again?
Wow.
What are the coincidences? What's going to happen if I stay here? Will I ever get over it?
Yes.
Because I'm around it all the time. Or do I go back and start, fresh, and think, okay, I need to move forward? And I couldn't make my mind up. And Nindy said, we'll stay. Mm-hmm. She said, you know what? Look, he just passed away. The funeral's done. There's no way we can just go back to Canada. If anything, we're going to have to stay for your parents' sake. And
she is brilliant.
Do you know what?
She's such a flipping rock star.
It's easy for me to just blow her trumpet and to say, well, she's my wife. I'm going to big her up no matter what, blah blah blah. But that, God's honest truth.
No, I'm bigging her up because it's the truth.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, how many people actually do that? I mean, you do it for your own family. We all do it for our own families, and a lot of people don't even do that.
Yeah,
but in our culture, it's a big deal.
It is a big
right?
deal. Yeah.
But to do it for the family of someone that is someone you love is a lot more of a challenge, because you're dealing with a whole different dynamic.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
She's brilliant.
Yeah. She's a stone on the outside, but she has feelings in the inside.
Yeah, she's
and I think a lot of people think, oh, you know what, she's a rock solid stone. Nothing can harm her, blah blah blah. But yeah, she does get hurt. So
of course.
She said, no, we're gonna stay. Yes, we started having issues in the business.
Yes.
Okay, how do I, not going into too much detail, but I'm trying to do one thing. Serge's direction is this way, my direction is that way. Things were not really working out.
Yeah.
I said, you know what, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And then dad and mom was already distorted about losing their son, and they're thinking, well, no, it's going to work this way. There was too many things going on. There was too many family politics, and there was too many business issues, and there was a lot of family issues happening. So at that point, we said, okay, you know what, forget it. Absolutely, let's just go, let's leave, and we'll go back to Canada again. But he never wanted to let go of RDB. He said, well, no, RDB will always be here because Kuly made RDB, and I'm RDB, and you're RDB, and RDB will be here forever. And I said, well, no, technically not really. If we leave it as a legacy, then it's left at the top. If we try to carry on RDB and something goes wrong, my biggest concern was, I don't want to make a song tomorrow and everyone says, oh, what a crap song, and it's flopped. Yes. And it's all flopped and it's crap because Kuly's not
there anymore. Yeah.
So these guys are finished and RDB's done. Yeah. Now what happens is RDB's name really gets thrown in the dirt.
And that's what they remember.
Yeah.
They'll never remember the good stuff, the brilliant stuff.
Yeah, because bad news is good news, and good news is no news.
Yes.
So for I didn't want that to happen. So, but he never agreed to that, and that's what caused the friction to say, okay, well, I'm off. That's it.
Okay.
I'm moving. I'm going to carry on doing what I need to do, but I request that you do not use RDB and you leave it as a legacy.
Yes.
He didn't agree, and it did get into a legal issue.
It's about time we tell this story, sweetheart. There's so many things that people like to talk about. When people are down and they don't seem to realize that there's so many dynamics that they don't know that are part and parcel of the scenario. And at the end of the day, what I am hearing is, a brother who has so much respect for his brother that he wanted to leave the legacy that he really did create. He was the innovator. You already said that, right?
100%.
You wanted to leave it with him still being a part of it.
Absolutely.
You didn't want it to be something that you continue doing where he's not involved anymore.
Absolutely.
Because it started with him. The story started with him, because I remember when he called me up many years ago and he says, I'm in Canada and I want to tell you about RDB.
Yeah.
This was years ago.
Yeah.
Right? So this is, you can't continue something when something that's integral is missing.
Absolutely.
So you were absolutely right to fight for that. I really do agree with you. I'm not saying it just because you're sitting here, because I don't do that, you know me.
Yeah.
Right? But, you know, from that, you move forward with Manj Music.
Yeah.
You made that decision. You mentioned already, Manj, that you know, there was a point where you were thinking, am I going to carry on with this? But then you decided you were going to.
Yeah. And
tell me about that moment. How did that happen for you? And how did Manj Music come about?
It was basically, I knew what would happen with RDB. I knew that, you know, I fully got the motion that Serge was not going to stop, and he was going to try to carry on RDB.
Yes.
He was promoting it left, right, and centre. And I thought, okay, well, at this point, there's nothing else I can do besides legally with the company trying to be closed down. Maybe that will give him some inkling to say, okay, you know what, I should stop now.
Yes.
Didn't stop, so I left it completely. I thought, okay, if he's going to do what he needs to do, let him go and do whatever he needs to do. Unfortunately, he's gonna get the name and he's going to throw it down the dirt. I need to move.
And that's tragic.
It's very tragic, yeah, very, very tragic. And I say, you know, I did call him a couple of times and said, stop, you know, blah, 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 etc. And, you know, he was definitely not having it. At the same time as, you know, that's when I thought, okay, I need to move forward to start doing something new.
Yes.
But I don't want to make or do the same stuff as I was doing as RDB, because I don't want people to think, oh, right, well, he's just trying to be the new RDB now, right? I need to create a new character. I need to create a new style of music.
Yes.
I need to create something completely fresh that I'm doing, that I want to do from my brain. So moving forward, I'm going to be Manj Music. It's 100% my brain. I owe it to the fans to say that, you know, at least I can do something. I sang so many songs, you know, I should do something else.
Are you kidding me? I would die if I didn't hear that fabulous voice of yours.
Yeah, well,
you got one of the best Punjabi singing vocal, you know, ranges.
Thank you so much.
You know, of anyone, and it's, you know, and I'm not just saying that, Manj, it's the truth. You're like one of those artists that you can't believe that you actually were born in England.
Yeah.
Your range and your nuances and your understanding of how to sing Punjabi, it's as if you grew up in India.
Thank you
right?
so much.
So you don't want to, you know, create a situation for people like us where we don't get to hear you anymore.
Yeah. Oh, no,
right?
absolutely. Yeah, no, thank
and
you so
obviously,
much.
I mean, look at Dal Makhani, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
it was
Canadian Screen Award.
Awards, yeah.
I mean,
well,
do me a favour. I think that's kind of a message from your brother.
Yeah.
That hang in there, dude. You're meant to be doing this.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Me and Nindy, you know, we pray every day, and we thank God that the journey we started as Manj Music has immensely done so well for us.
Yes.
I mean, I personally think it hasn't done as much as I hope it will be. We're still at the starting stage right now, but it's done so well as a solo artist, completely rebranded, not using RDB to make
very short time, babe.
In a very short time, yeah. In a year, February of 2014 is when I originally started.
People do it for decades, babe, and they don't get anywhere.
Yeah, no,
right?
absolutely.
And it's even harder for people in your position where you've had so much tremendous success and you're an iconic band. That's your history.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And all of a sudden you're going solo. It's kind of a scary proposition because, as you said, you can totally fall flat on your arse with this.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
But within a very quick span of time, you got kind of like a message from the universe that, hang on a minute, this is what you're meant to do.
Yeah.
This is a part of your journey. This is chapter 2.
Yeah. Absolutely,
right?
Yeah, 100%. And that was my motivation, you know. And Nindy kept saying to me, she always said to me, you've got it in you to do it. You do. You know, you're doing everything with Kuly and Serge and blah, blah, blah. And it's great you work as a team. And I think it's brilliant as all together you work as a team and you make this music as RDB. But then when everything went thingy and I was like, oh, I don't know. She just said, listen, get a grip of yourself. You can do it on your own as well.
Yes. If
you feel as though, you know what, just because I was in this denial that if Kuly's not with me, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Because we've been together all that time.
He was your anchor though, right?
Yeah,
he's your big bro.
Yeah, so like, what do I do? And she's like, look, he's still with us.
Yes.
He's here. So just, you can still do it.
I got goosebumps.
Yeah. She said, you know, you can do it. And she was my motivation. And then with the team being behind, and then obviously the first couple of songs, and to be honest, the first song I officially released in Bollywood, which Whistle Baja, as Manj Musik, was a massive success in India, touch wood.
Yes.
You know, it was a huge, huge success. And that was like a stamp for me to say, listen, you made a track, you made it all by yourself.
Yes.
You sang it, you composed it, you did everything yourself, and it was a success. That just shows you that Kuly's still with you, he's inside you, and he's helping you doing what you have to do. Just carry on doing what you have to do.
Absolutely.
And you know, the success will show for itself. So,
and it has, as I mentioned, really, really quickly.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do next? I mean, all of your fans, all of us are kind of bated breath.
Yeah.
Like, what's next on the cards for you?
I've got a whole bunch of stuff. Like obviously, once I got into the momentum of like, okay, I'm getting somewhere, I just don't stop then at that point. And I have that Kuly habit as well of trying to do everything and then not completing everything. So now I'm trying to like complete everything one at a time. But yeah, I've got obviously more songs. Bollywood's a never-ending story. I've got a whole bunch of Bollywood songs happening.
Wow.
I'm still.
Thank God for that.
Yeah. Yeah. So that Akshay's, I've got a new one. Gabbar, his new movie's coming out now. I've got the title song for Gabbar. Then Singh Is Bling's coming out. Yeah. I've got the title song for Singh Is Bling.
I can't wait for that one.
Yeah, it's gonna.
I love the first one.
Yeah, it's gonna be insane. And there's a whole bunch. I'm working with mainstream acts now.
Yeah. Let's talk about that portfolio.
Yeah.
Because you've done. I mean, you're like the only personality from our bhangra world, right? That's worked on both sides.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
I'm blessed to have the ability to do that.
Yeah. So what's happening on that side? Because obviously you've worked with Ludacris, you've worked with Snoop. Yeah, what's happening next in that side of things?
So when you've done Snoop, Ludacris, and T-Pain, at that point you hit the pinnacle of like, okay, well, what's next? Who do I need to work with right now? But it's always a challenge. So I did a couple of shows with Redfoo from LMFAO in Bombay, in India. So I went a little bit touring with him. So I got a really good relationship with him now.
Yeah.
We're working on something with Redfoo. I've just fingers crossed locked in something with Afrojack, which is huge for India.
Yes.
So it's for me, I'm like the middle guy for Bollywood to cross over to the mainstream, the mainstream to cross over to Bollywood.
Yeah, because you're actually not doing it one way. A lot of people talk about, taking, Bollywood and going to Hollywood. You actually do a two-way road here.
Absolutely, yeah. And the reason why I do it with the mainstream acts is because I want them to obviously have the opportunity to do something in Bollywood. And after Akon went with Shah Rukh Khan and sang in Hindi,
that massive.
Was like, what?
Yeah.
So everyone wants to do that. So I've got a whole bunch of mainstream stuff happening. The Bollywood stuff is happening. The bhangra industry is still the bhangra industry.
Of course.
So I'm still releasing independent singles and releases for the bhangra industry. And then besides that, I've got my own clothing line coming out now, Swag Dat Sardars, which I've now abbreviated to SOS Clothing. It's easy to everyone to make a t-shirt and then print something on it.
Yes.
And say, oh, I've got a clothing line.
Yes.
Well, no, you've got a t-shirt and you've printed something on it and then you've sold a whole bunch of them. A clothing line means that you have a specific style that you're selling. So that's SOS Clothing, in fact, is going to have a streetwear, which is going to be the t-shirts, the regular t-shirts and the prints and blah, blah, blah. But it's going to be like logos of like Swag Mera Desi and Whistle Baja and blah, blah, blah. These kind of things.
I love it.
So that's the streetwear. Then there's high fashion. High fashion will be like more specific zips on certain things, certain cut pants, certain cut blazers. And then there's going to be a diamond series. The diamond series is going to have Swarovski stones on blazers, on t-shirts and different things like that. And then there's going to be accessories. So I've got backpacks. So that's backpacks. I've got bandanas. I've got a whole bunch of different stuff. So it's not just let's get some desis together and make a clothing line and print some t-shirts.
Right.
It's an actual full-on concept.
Yeah.
There's a website getting made. There's going to be apps made, and so on, etc.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
That's launching. I'm really excited about that because that's like my own little baby that I've wanted to always do. That's launching hopefully by summer. So so the clothing line's one thing. Nindy's got her little clothing line on the side. The music's one thing. And then I have got a couple of people who've approached me for acting.
Yes.
In movies and stuff.
That was going to be my next thing.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
I've said no to that.
How come?
You know what? I don't think I'm at the position in my life musically before going into acting.
I understand.
I'm not saying that once I flop, I'll go into acting, right? But I think I need to achieve what I want to achieve musically before I move into acting.
Yeah.
I love doing the videos and music videos and stuff like that. But right now, I just want to concentrate on the music and the clothing line thing and push that forward.
Absolutely.
So there's lots and lots of things going on.
And there's lots and lots of things I think that you're always going to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got a great energy about you, Manj. I'm so super excited that we had the opportunity to sit and chat. It's funny because a lot of people look at you and RDB and they say, okay, so they've already done it. But what they don't realize is that was just your foundation to get you ready to write the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
And that's what you've just embarked on right now. Absolutely. I'm really happy that you came to chat with me.
Thank you so much.
Can't wait to hear more about what you and Nindy are doing.
Absolutely.
You guys are tremendous, and I look forward to the opportunity to chat with you again.
Yep.
Thanks, darling.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.